when you're looking at a potential partner or a potential friend, the biggest green flag is simply their speech consistently matches their actions. There is nothing more important than consistency, especially for those of us who are pretty much all of us who have been through trauma and are looking for a partner in which our nervous systems can exhale. I'm Dyer, a born clairvoyant and near-death experiencer, and I'm here to help you remember that you are your best guru. And we're going to be talking about, this is especially to the women, dating while being on your own spiritual journey, no matter where you are on it. There is a huge difference. There's a gaping inconsistency or incongruity that exists between some people in the spiritual community. They talk the talk, they sound like they know what they're talking about, but when you're actually engaged with them, something feels off. And if you've ever felt that before, if you're like me, I have definitely been encouraged to not overthink things and been told things like, you're too sensitive. But if it's important to you, your own connection with the external field, with prime consciousness, whatever you want to call it, and you're kind of interested in somebody, the most important thing you can do to protect your own selfhood and to not knowingly betray yourself, because it's like so easy to get swept up in the beginning of things. Your greatest compass actually is your stomach, wherever dishonesty or incongruence registers for you. With me, it's like as if there was a bowl at the bottom of my stomach, and when things hunker down in that bowl, I know I'm picking up on some kind of incongruity. And it doesn't mean it's a lie. It doesn't mean anything black and white. There's no specific thing we can point to and say, oh, he's lying. You actually do need to get to know their regular operating mode. Then instead of obsessing over a single thing that didn't seem or feel right, you'll have gathered a lot of on how this person just by being in their company, even for a week. And that's when you'll be able to, like they say in poker, you have tells. I knew a man who, whenever I would say something to him that was indeed accurate and truthful, he would lose his mind. I knew that what his freakouts looked like, what they sounded like, the topics they would usually gravitate towards. And in the beginning, the best place to be as somebody who is open to a relationship is that of the lovingly detached observer. I used to come like thundering in, hey, I'm here. And no wonder I would make myself crazy. Now, I have such a different stance, but it's taken me decades to get here. Now there's no pressure. I'll be gracious and I'll be authentic and I'll observe. How am I received? How does that person engage with differing opinions? Do they like to talk things like that? That for me is a huge deal. I am like brain-gasm kind of person. If somebody cannot engage with me with curiosity and sufficient level of openness, we're not going to get along in the long term. My love language is not an official love language, and it's literally asking questions. I used to have a rule in middle school. I was only allowed to ask 3 questions on field trips. Instead of thinking of, I want to get someone's attention, you just want to be around them, and not like a double agent or anything creepily, but just observe. Just because someone is spiritual, that does not make them safe. Just because someone's a policeman doesn't make them safe. Just because someone's a doctor doesn't mean they're safe. This really goes for everything. We really have to get used to something that I, for one, did not want to get used to. I had the hardest time after discovering the Epstein stuff. I was crying for like weeks, and I realized, kept myself not seeking out that kind of information. I thought I was doing myself a service by keeping me grounded and in a higher vibration. But my guides made it really clear, you can't be of genuine use unless you are realistically calibrated. For example, after my divorce, God, we have to get to forgiveness here. I do not want to become jaded. I would rather hedge on the side of naivete than being jaded about something. I've seen women become locked down, jaded after a relationship. And I don't want anything external to have that much influence on my internal atmosphere. So when you're looking at a potential partner or a potential friend, the biggest green flag is simply their speech consistently matches their actions. There is nothing more important than consistency, especially for pretty much all of us who have been through trauma and are looking for a partner in which our nervous systems can exhale. I hope this helped. I love you all. See you in the next one.